Hello there, Moon and Leo, and welcome to my channel. I'm launching my new series today of monthly moon sign readings starting for the month of July 2022. Your moon sign represents a more personal, internal part of your psyche, including your deepest personal needs, emotions, your hidden and shadow aspects, whereas your sun sign is more about your identity, your conscious mind, and external world. So my intent here is to make known, clarify, or validate what's happening in your inner world. You can use this information to better understand what's going on and then make better decisions for yourself and for your life. If you don't know what your moon sign is, please check out the description box below for some website addresses. If you've clicked on here thinking this was a sun sign reading or what you thought was your sun sign, more than likely your sun sign and moon sign are different. So definitely check that out and find out what your moon sign is, okay? And lastly, I'd like to say thanks for stopping by today and spending some time here. Please remember to click on that thumbs up, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button before you leave. All right, let's get started. Spirit, tell me about Moon in Leo for July 2022. What's going to happen for Moon in Leo, please, in July? Spirit. Well, we got one to come out. All right, it is full moon in Cancer. Let your fears dissolve. Okay. And then we have last quarter moon in Aquarius. Reflect on your priorities. All right. And finally, full moon in Taurus. Detoxify. All right. Okay, moon in Leo. So for July, for you, I think what Spirit is trying to say here is with this detoxify, I want to say that there's been too much information going through your mind, through your body, through your heart. And I think there's a lot of conflicting information. Different people have different opinions. You don't know what to think on the inside. You're not sure. So there's a fear. You don't want to make the wrong decision. And I want to say Spirit is here saying to reflect on your priorities. Take some time and look at what's important to you. It doesn't matter if other people share your values or your priorities. The month of July is going to be about honing in on your values, on your priorities, and making sure everything is arranged in a way that makes you happy and makes you feel fulfilled, and that you're taking care of yourself, you're being responsible, you're doing the right thing for you, you're not letting other people sway you or convince you otherwise, you're taking care of you. So you're kind of detoxifying yourself of other people's opinions, thoughts, ideas, beliefs, dreams, words, whatever. And I think this is what Spirit is saying is this is about you and your fears of rejection, abandonment, being mocked, or being mistreated, or whatever your fears are. Let them dissolve, because once you hone in on what's important to you and you prioritize what's important to you and your values and take care of those things, everything else will fall into place. And if people have a problem with that, they'll fall away. And while that might not feel good, it's probably better, and it's probably meant to make room for the people who can accept you, or can, maybe this is like, reflect on your priorities. Let's say you were brought up in a strict religious home and their priorities are the religion or God or Muhammad or any and all the different deities or beliefs or whatever. Let's say you now you have been out, you've been exposed to the world outside of your family enough. There's some different ideas that you want to check out or believe in, but you've been afraid that, you know, your family will, like, I don't know, maybe excommunicate you because you're going to follow a different philosophy or belief system. But Spirit is telling me that it's time for you to go walk your own path. Yeah. And figure out your way. So let's find out what the roadblock is, or the hidden aspect that of you, that part of you that you don't want to look at or run away from. That part that's hidden. It keeps you from moving forward in this. Okay. Huh, I didn't even get a chance, but this popped out right away. The child I was meant to be. So you're going to be struggling with this idea that you were meant... Like I said, I feel like you were brought up or something. You were brought up a certain way. Maybe it isn't religion. Maybe as a child you were forced to grow up too fast because you had negligent parents or guardians. You didn't get the child you were meant, get to be the child that you were meant to be, or that you think you were meant to be. And so there's sorrow, there's anger, there's pain, there's hurt. And I think these issues are going to come up for you in July regarding this stuff. And I feel like, especially, there's full moon, full moon, full moon. So I think during the full moon of July, which I believe is the 13th, there's going to be intense feelings, and that's why you're going to need to detoxify. Your fears are going to feel very intense, and the unfairness of what you had to go through is going to be super intense. But this is part of the process. This is part of you facing these ideas and feelings that have gone either unsaid or unprocessed. There's something about the child you were meant to be that you've shoved aside. You haven't looked at. You haven't, like, well, this is the way it is, and I didn't get that, so no point in dwelling on it or something. But it's still there. You can't run forever, and you can't hide. So this will be another time where this idea, this feeling comes up of unfairness, of hurt, injustice, pain. And it has to do with your priorities. I'm thinking that you may need to make this a priority to actually deal with this aspect, because if you don't, it'll just keep coming up in different ways, in different times, with different people. So this is a time for you to actually look at, process, and accept that part of you that didn't get what you thought you deserved or you should have gotten growing up. So that will help detoxify. That will help dissolve your fears, because you're actually working through this, accepting it, and even turning it around and flourishing and thriving. And this has to do, and this is part of your priorities, is looking at the hurt child, talking with the hurt child, validating all the feelings inside of your hurt self, of your hurt child. And if needed, definitely talk to someone, and if needed, get professional help, okay? Let's get some more information. Tell me more about July for Moon and Leo, please. Spirit. What else should Moon and Leo know? Okay, well, there's a couple. How many is that? That's only 2. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll call that good. So, we have the moon. And again, it has the full moon on it there, okay? The 3 of Wands. All right. The Nine of Swords, another full moon, and the Hanged Man. Okay, suspension. Okay, so let your fears dissolve, followed by the moon. Now, the moon can signify dreams or illusions or just internal workings. I see this as your fears are an illusion. They're not real. They're part of a fabrication that ego comes up with to keep you in one place, so you don't have to look at this. You know, your fear of, like I said, being abandoned, rejected, losing family members, losing friends, whatever the case may be, the fears that are involved, I feel like they are an illusion. And that's what Spirit is trying to help you with. Reflecting on your priorities. You know, it's like looking out into the future. Three of Wands, looking out to the future. I think that's a positive. As you are looking at your priorities and dealing with this, you can look at the future from a different perspective, from a different angle. Detoxifying will help you with that sense of anxiety, of stress, possibly even nightmares about... I want to say you have nightmares that are unclear, that you're not sure of, and they're probably related to this somehow, maybe some extended way, but it's related to this hurt that comes from deep within, from your childhood. So making your priorities known, following them, looking to the future with hopeful eyes, knowing that the fears that you have, just letting them go away because they are an illusion, and releases that anxiety, that tension, that possibly like even like nightmares, right? And gives you, you know, all this will give you a new perspective about the child I was meant to be. So you can look back and be like, well, no, yeah, I didn't get the kind of raising that I wanted. I didn't get to grow up the way I wanted to, but that's okay, because I learned whatever you learned, and now you are more centered. You value yourself more, which in turn will reflect on your outer world, and people will value you more, and you'll get some kind of inner peace or some kind of sense of calm, because all this time, I think throughout your life, you've had this anxiety, and I think it's related to this, and maybe you just weren't willing to look at it, or you couldn't see it. So this reading here is kind of like, here it is. You can do with it what you want. You can choose not to handle this, but it will come back, and you will have to face it again. Or maybe you can only handle part of it this time, and then another time later you can handle another part. Sometimes it goes through phases like that. I feel like I've dealt with, let's say, well, for me, I have some issues with my father, and I thought I've dealt with some things, and then something happens in my life, and it's like, oh, well, there's something else, one particular part that I didn't see or know of before. Okay, it's bothering me, and now I need to deal with it. That happens. I think that's part of life. So again, new perspective, but there's suspension here. So I think that's why I'm bringing up that you're going to suspend looking at this fully, I think. You're willing to look at it, to reflect on your priorities. You know it's there. So it's like you're taking a step. Okay, I know I have issues with how I was brought up now versus before. You weren't even willing to look at it. You weren't willing to admit it. Something along those lines. Now you're willing to look at it and admit it, and kind of suspend there for a little while. I think it's going to be up to you what you do after that. But all in all, you still have a new perspective. You still have a way. This will help detoxify your whole system, so less stress, less anxiety, less nightmares, a more hopeful look out into the future, and less illusions to confuse you. Let's get one last card, please, Spirit, for Moon and Leo for the month of July, please. Whoopsie. There we go. What last piece of advice do you have for Moon and Leo, Spirit, for the month of July? Okay. That one kind of flew out. That's the artwork. And it says, I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. Yeah. Definitely looking at that childhood that you had that had a lot of questionable things that happened to you, and a lot of unfortunate things and mistreatment, and just a very difficult childhood. That's what it feels like to me. So you get to know yourself deeply and find yourself even more worthy going through this process. And I think by the end of July, you're going to feel those things. All right, Moon and Leo, I think that's all the messages that I have for you. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And be sure to check out your sun sign reading for the month of July as well. May the cosmos bless you with love and light. Namaste.